Hi everyone, today I wanted to introduce you to Elisha, and she can tell us a little bit where she's from. But I was just having coaching session with her this morning, and I thought, well, she could share that with everyone else because it's just so amazing to see the progress she made in less than a month with her sleep. Hey Elisha, you could tell us a little bit about yourself if you want, and where you come from and with your family, and then we'll talk a little bit about your sleep.
Yeah. Well, I'm Elisha. I'm out of California, Central Valley, and I've been enrolled in this program for about a month. I'm a mom. I work full time. I have a busy life. I have three children under the age of 12, and I'm married, and yeah, I have a pretty busy life. So I'm very happy with the decision moving forward to finally delve into this journey with my insomnia and
So what?
decided to
Yeah.
reach out to Lena.
So what was your sleep like before? What did you struggle with?
Yeah, so I hit my rock bottom, um, I would say, with insomnia about 2 months ago. I had been struggling with insomnia since November of last year, and I didn't think anything of it because I never really dealt with insomnia. I thought, okay, like I'm just having some issues with my sleep. But I noticed it was getting worse and worse and worse as time went on. And like I had mentioned, I went through my rock bottom about a couple months ago and finally decided in that moment I need to do something about this.
Well, so you um that was the last straw for you. You had to
Yeah.
realize my sleep is getting worse and out of control. I just need some
Hmm.
help with my sleep.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so how did you find when we enrolled? You enrolled in a program. We had a session with you, and then I've done your personalized program. Then you got the course, and
Mhm.
so how did you find the whole process and everything?
Yeah, so I found the program was I joined the group, and my husband was like, you probably should just join a insomnia group. You might be able to get some tips through Facebook. And so I did. I joined a couple groups, and I found right away Lana had a program, and I was a little like, well, do I want to commit to a program? I was kind of not sure, is this going to fit into my life with my crazy schedule with my kids? And but I knew, like, okay, if I don't get a handle on this, like I'm desperate for answers. I'm desperate for solution, relief from this, because it's a nightmare. I honestly thought, like, this can't be the rest of my life. Like, I can't live like this forever. Like, I have to do something about it. So it it was, I decided to take that jump of faith and enroll in the program. And to my surprise, I found that it was very convenient with my busy schedule that I have. I was able to fit it in at my own pace. It wasn't something that I had to be on, line at 3 o'clock every day. It was, I could be, in the evening when I had some downtime, and kind of go at my own pace. So that's one of the biggest things that I felt was a positive for me, that I could work it into my schedule very easily.
Yes, yes, and that's one kind of the whole point for me was to make a program that people can fit into their schedule, make the changes as they go, as their life goes on, and just they see the results as they are making those changes. So, what changes have you seen with your sleep now?
Yes, so I started off when I was kind of really going through my struggles with sleep. I was averaging maybe an hour to 2 hours a night, and I would wake up feeling so miserable and tired, and depression was starting to set in. And that's kind of where I started. Um, as I gained knowledge through the program, and I was consistent with my habits, I noticed that it started to increase to, my sleep would start to increase to maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. Now I'm averaging about 6 to 7 hours. And
Amazing.
I've learned a lot of tools and things from the videos to help me with my anxiety. Sleep anxiety was something I also dealt with. Um, and learning to manage those things during the daytime and how to prepare my body for sleep. Because one of the things the program mentions is, and I think Lana, you've mentioned this several
Yeah.
times on our Facebook group, is what you do during the day determines how you sleep at night. So I
Yeah.
put a lot of emphasis on those things that I do
Yeah.
during the daytime.
Because quite
Yeah.
often people think, oh yeah, if I do the right thing before I go to sleep, sleep will come. But no, actually, that kind
It
of,
starts when you
it's
wake up.
making, yeah, that's when you wake up, or doing before you go to sleep makes things worse. Better not to do anything.
And I was one of those people where I'm like, if I drink this tea, I should sleep good. If I drink cherry juice, I should sleep good. And
Yeah.
there's no quick fix. There's not a magic
No.
pill. You know, there's supplements you can take. Yes, and I do take those things
Yeah.
to help. But it is when you get out of bed and when you start your day, like it's all those things that make
Yeah.
the huge impact.
Well,
Yeah.
and I keep saying that again and again, but yeah, I think just so good to hear from you that it actually, that what you do at daytime, it matters so much for your sleep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what do you think kind of made you want to do this or take, as you said, the leap of faith? What do you think it will mean for you?
What it means for me is gradually getting back to my normal life. I back when I was struggling, I honestly didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I thought this is how I'm going to end up living, and it doesn't have to be that way. I feel like by enrolling in the program, it's a small price to pay. As a mom, you know, I felt like this area of my life was suffering so much, and I had to do something um, for my children and my family because it was starting to affect those relationships and how I parent, and I wasn't as patient. So I knew for me it wasn't fair to them, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's what really motivated me. And I
Yeah.
realized it's, you know, it was a small price to pay, and I'm happy that I did it.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yes, you say just your whole life um, is affected by sleep, by lack of sleep, and
Mhm.
seeing the transformation now that you can bring to your family, that your mom who is energized, mom who is actually
Mhm.
feels great about herself, and yeah, you can tackle whatever your day brings to you and your children because you have that energy, but your mindset is just so important. I think you mentioned in our coaching session how it actually helps you to deal with your anxiety. Can you just say a little bit on that, because I think that was a really good point.
Oh, yes. So I was starting to get sleep anxiety. My thoughts would be racing at night, and I'd be focused on breathing and focusing all these tasks that I need to do. Sleep anxiety was setting in. I was getting to a point to where I wasn't looking forward to nighttime. I was almost dreading nighttime because I knew, here we go again. It's going to be
Mm-hmm.
another night
Yep.
where I don't sleep. And I had to get out of that vicious cycle. But I feel like through, you know, learning through the program, it really did. There's a lot of emphasis on stress management and learning about what those triggers are, being aware of them, and having the tools to manage them during the day. And, you know, worries and stress, it's going to come. That's life.
Yep.
But, you know, learning how to deal with it appropriately and not let it consume you.
Yep.
I got out of that cycle. I was having a lot of like muscle spasms and tension in my neck where I couldn't, you know, that was just exasperating the issue with my sleep. But just having those tools and learning applicable ways on how to deal with stress and anxiety during the daytime has helped tremendously.
Yeah, and I think you're a big part of that because you're such a good learner. Yep, it works, and I'm doing that. That's all. You don't need kind
Yeah.
of to muck around, go in vicious circles. You kind of learn to recognize those stressors, and do something about that. How you think, how you respond to those stresses. That's just so important. But I think
Yeah.
your attitude is amazing. So that's one kind of, when I was talking to you this morning, that we need to record that. I want other women to hear that because it's just doable. And
Hmm.
it's just amazing how life changes when you do those things and get your sleep back. So what would you
Oh,
say to
yeah.
someone who is actually had reservation about other investing their time, energy, money, or would it work? Do I trust someone like me to help them with doing the program?
Yes, I dove in, head first, 100%, like willing to change my habits. And I found that, you, of course, Lana, were accessible at all times. Anytime I had questions, Lana was there to answer through Messenger, online. So I didn't feel like at all that, it was like, here's the program, and then I'll talk to you a month later. She was available, checking in on me, asking me how I was doing, and then also provided tips and information along the way. So I really do felt like you kind of guided me through the journey, and you still do. One thing too is I lost my uncle to COVID a couple weeks ago, and Lana also provided ways for me to cope with, the loss of my husband. I mean, not my husband, I'm sorry, my uncle. And just, I felt that that was like something that I appreciated, because it was something that was totally unexpected. And, anytime you deal with grief or stress like that, it can impact your, your life. So she really went above and beyond to help me in those areas.
Yeah, because I kind of knew what had happened, and I knew there would be extra more strain on your sleep, on your emotion, and things like that. How can I support you? Because yeah,
Yeah.
and then yeah, you're my priority while you're doing the program. As I say to women who work with me, I'm holding you by the hand all this time, kind of to make sure that you get the sleep, and whatever support you need, I give you, because yeah, to get your best results, because that's what actually matters at the end. Yeah. Thanks, Elisha. Anything else you wanted to say?
No, I would just encourage anybody who, is thinking about it. I've seen tremendous improvement, and I encourage anybody to consider it, because it's definitely helped me a
Yeah.
lot. So I'm really thankful for for everything that you've done.
No, I am really enjoyed working with you, because and you still supporting you on this journey, but just seeing the results that you got and your determination, but also being um, flexible and learning and changing your habits, because you knew that's what you wanted for your family, for yourself, and it's your lifetime investment, actually. Because we were talking
Yeah.
about with you, you said what will happen kind of in the future, and I said now I am actually not too worried about you, because I know you know what to do, you know what is actually works, and it just sometimes it just life brings something, but once your mind in the right place about that, once you got the strategies, you're fine, you're good to go.
Yeah, I do feel better equipped to now deal with, stresses and anxiety and all those things that affect,
Yeah,
sleep. So I do
yeah,
feel in a much better place.
yeah, that's great to hear. And yeah, all the best in the future, and I will see you in the group.
Thank you so much.